welcome along to Bangkok Chitchat. Thanks for watching. And today we're talking about Freemasons, and in particular Freemasonry here in Thailand. So let's introduce our guest straight away, Jompon Quartermain.
Good morning.
He shall be known as Kim from now on.
Yes.
Right, before we go, let me sort of nail my flag to the mast. I am pretty skeptic, not just about Freemasons, but any of these secret societies. I looked up the definition of a secret society in the Oxford Dictionary, and it says secret society is a club or an organization whose activities, events, inner functioning, or membership are concealed from non-members. So let's kick it off from there. And it says that these exclude intelligence agencies, guerrilla warfare, and that's not grouped into it. And you've got, several ones that I looked up, like the Knights of Pythias, the Foresters' Friendly Society, Bohemian Grove. Maybe you've heard of some of these. And me, in maybe ignorance, we shall find that out as this chit-chat goes on, whether some of my skepticism has a foundation of I'm Roman Catholic. Well, I'm a lapsed Catholic, brought up with the Latin masses most of till I was about 12, 13. And then the ritual side of things, the hierarchy side of things, put me against anything that is like a society that is almost like privileged societies. Like those are not, we are. There was this sort of
us and them.
Absolutely. So going just back to the secret society, you remember what I said though, with it being activities, events, inner functioning, or membership are concealed from non-members. Would you say that Freemasonry is a secret society?
It's a society with secrets, but our buildings are not hidden. There are Mason Hall, there are Mason meetings all over the place. So if you look up most of the Masonic buildings all around the world, they'll have Masonic logos, the square and compass here.
Oh, that's what that is. Yeah.
Yes. So if we're hiding or running away, there wouldn't be locations for buildings and said meetings posted up.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of in the material side of the secret bit, but a lot of the other side is secretive. Like you have rituals of becoming members, and because that's kept secret, people like me go, oh, there must be something going on there, lad. Like it's not. Why don't they be a bit more transparent? And maybe they are. So I think you can.
Yeah, you can see an awful lot of that on the internet already. It's all there. Yeah.
But when I was being brought up, it was not, and that's why I've got this stigma. Maybe.
Christ, you only had black and white TV then.
We didn't have TV. No, nothing. No. Radio was the old crystal. Shut up. So, So obviously, I'm from the past, and I hope this conversation goes to how you're going in the future and how do you PR and market it all. So, yes, you want to start with some questions?
Well, I mean, the first thing is just to explain, to qualify you as well. You are the ex-past master of the first Thai language lodge in Thailand. It's been running for 15 years, and it's called Lodge Ratanakosin. Yeah.
Yes.
Right? And it's under
immediate past master.
Immediate past master.
Yes.
Okay, so that means last year.
Yes.
And now you've been kicked out, and now somebody else has taken
over.
Past,
yeah, but you always keep that past thing.
Yes.
That's okay.
As in that you've gone through the
former.
Yes.
All right, so basically, as a past master, do you actually help the existing master? Is that part of your role?
That is part of my role, if requested.
So you're not actively operating in the day-to-day operation of the lodge?
I try not to as a past master, because this is where the right worship master...
It's his time.
It's his time to take over. Back to your original question about Freemasonry and why it was so secretive before. During my father's time, because I'm considered as a Lewis,
which means the son of
a Mason. I didn't know until he passed away that he was a Freemason. He never mentioned it, even though I saw these symbols when I was young. But during his time, he never mentioned to me. With all the conspiracy theories and everything that's been coming up through the ages, and you could look up many videos on the YouTube or on different streaming sites, there's been a lot of misconceptions. So I'm really glad to be here today to clarify all your questions.
Yeah, and I've got a feeling, to be honest, that at the end of this chit-chat, I'm going to be not saying where do I sign, because it's not that sort of deal, but I'm going to maybe have a different perspective of it. But you understand us from the old days,
yes.
We didn't have social media, so we just, and when people reveal themselves as a Mason to me, even to this day, I'm a little bit, oh, he actually said he's a Mason. I'm all whispering now, you know, and that is hard to change, but mainly probably because I haven't looked into it enough. So once again, thanks for taking time off.
So why did you even look at joining Freemasonry? Is it because your dad was part of it, or did you have an interest? Did you study it? Or why?
Honestly,
just extra work because you get more commitments. And,
it is more commitment.
Already,
it is extra work from your day to day. It was because my dad never told me that he was a Freemason directly. After he passed away, I was inherited some of the symbolisms, these Masonic square and compasses, and it was a big question mark in my mind. What did it mean? What is it all about? And I wanted to find out for myself. You know, instead of looking up all these YouTube videos and trying to draw up a conclusion. So I went to one of my father's trusted friend, and I showed him the symbols that I had inherited to me. And he looked at me and he's going, that's from Lodge. So, well, can you tell me any more about it? Not really. Well, how do I join?
Without him even telling you what it... I mean, you knew it was the Freemason Lodge, right?
Mm.
You knew all that.
Yeah.
But you asked him, where do I go from here? Or?
Exactly.
Right.
But why? I mean, if not knowing anything about it and what you're getting involved in, why would you even look at... They must have told you that, you know, what the principles were, what the commitments were. I mean, I know that, I've been to some of the socials and things like that, yeah? And that's what you have basically for people who are interested in it, yeah? And that's obviously the questions they ask is basically, you know, what is it all about and what is the commitment, etc. What is the benefit? You've been in Lodge for how long?
Oh, right now, I was a Master Mason in 2012.
Right, so you've had this question asked you. So how would you answer somebody? How would you answer that question? What is Lodge all about? Why would I want to?
Why did you join? Why did you join?
Well, it's a brotherhood of men and women. For me, it was curiosity at the beginning. And I knew the sort of man my father was and the people he associated himself with, the circles that he was around. When he passed away, the pillar of my life was like a drifting boat a little bit. So I looked at it and I was a little bit lost, but more curious. And I wanted to find out the real truth behind it. Once I started joining, I saw what Masonry was really all about, helping out the community, helping each other, brothers who are in need, doing charity on your free time. And the teachings, after you go through the different degrees, it has changed me in a way that it's very hard to explain. You don't notice it at the beginning. It's a very subtle change. But when you look at it from the time you've started and when you get to where you are, you've noticed that, yes, you have changed as a person. Your principles and your core values that you uphold becomes more prevalent in your daily life.
You mean outside of the Lodge, not just being a Freemason and with the people you're sharing your life with them,
yes.
It changes your outlook on life in general.
Yes.
See, I mean, from an outsider's point of view, some people could see that as being indoctrination.
Yeah.
So, you know, what I was told, I've been told from my father was within Masonry, and my grandfather was as well, was basically what you have is a people of like-minded people, yeah, who have the same moral standards. And that you're surrounded by people who, just like you would be in a pub. Yeah, I mean, who do you sit in a pub with? The guy you don't like? No, you sit with a guy who you do like, yeah, and you've got common interests in. And the history, if you're interested in history and the background of where it came from, that's something else. But they say, was it morality and allegory? Yeah,
brotherly love, truth, and morality.
Yeah. And I think another thing is that within it is the other question I had even from my dad was you say about, you know, people fall out, and he goes, yes they do, of course they do, it's human nature, but what the whole point of the Lodge is like a father-son. It's like a father teaching a son on how to be a better person. Yeah, and also he said that I said, well, people can't just join, yeah. and we'll come to this later on who can and who can't. He said, yes, that's right. What they want to do is they want to create a harmony of people, of a group of people. And that harmony has to be done so there's a certain amount of vetting. So you're not going to want a guy who's a serial killer. Yeah, I'm sure there probably has been, but serial killer in it joining, or someone who is an extremist in something, who's going to break that harmony in the lodge. And I find that, really.
Well, let's go back to, you just mentioned it very briefly, readings. And so this is like the progression of you in. Is that right? These are dumb questions, and I'm really sorry.
No questions.
There is a hierarchy. There is a promotional steps where you would go from one position to another, to another, to another. Is that correct? And what are these reading things when you start? What are those? Are they teachings, or what are they?
Yes, teachings are core principles. The highest level in Freemasonry is Master Mason. Is a 3rd degree. The other regalias and ranks that goes into Masonry is to do with the runnings of the lodge.
Okay. Practical stuff.
Practical stuff. Yes, yes. How to do the ceremonies, how to conduct meetings, conduct harmony. But core principle of Freemasonry: if you're a 3rd degree, you're equal to everyone. But during the runnings of a lodge, the people who command and some must obey, just to get things done, similar to a company. So if you want to organize dinner, someone's going to be allocated to certain jobs and certain positions.
They had the short straw.
to get things done, right? Who's going to call up the restaurant, who's going to get the catering, who's going to make sure the bar's done.
Yeah.
So there is that, but the highest degree is the 3rd degree in Freemasonry.
One thing I found really interesting at the socials, right?
Socials, by the way,
socials. Basically, it's a social is basically where you have people who are interested, or maybe who are Masons as well, who get together and have a few beers and drinks and things like that, and they may have a discussion about a particular topic. Yeah, but what I really found really good was even the guys who I would know as being, maybe they're quite high up in the company, or it could be somebody who's a street sweeper or whatever it is. Not that I'm decrying that. Yeah, everyone is on a level. So that guy who's maybe high up in a position, he is serving you a drink.
So there's no class discrimination?
No, none whatsoever. None. And I think that is, in itself, especially in any society, is great. So that's why I say bring you down to the level. Yeah. Right? And we have that common phrase in life in itself. Yeah.
Well, yeah. We've got a question here about Masonry, or how it originated and all that. That's going to be a really long answer. So can we sort of like really condense? I know it goes back way, George Washington, and be further or whatever. From my little research that I've done, yes, just briefly how it originated.
For the reason we're doing this is because we're fascinated with it ourselves.
Yes, so Kim, so how did it originate?
In Thailand?
No, well, very
Take
briefly.
It from the beginning.
Yeah, from worldwide. You've got 6 million members now, so whatever.
7.
Oh, is it? All right. Okay.
From the beginning, the history that we could date back, traceable history, is Mother Kill winning number 0 to the 11th 40. Before then, the lodges, during the time of Robert the Bruce, they had a lot of wars, guerrilla tactics with the English. At the time, it wasn't united. It wasn't united.
Still going on, mate.
So a lot of the archives has been burnt during those times.
Like reformations, some governments were trying to get rid of it, or trying to. You mean from the English? Yeah.
And also Robert Bruce burning some of the castles.
I can't imagine all the soldiers going, we'll burn that one. They just went, well, just lit it. And that was it.
So, yeah, okay. So go on.
There are further histories from symbolisms at different abbeys and different temples throughout Scotland. But there's no written text because of that gap in history. What is believed is from the time of the Knights Templar and the King Solomon's temples. The proof is only in symbols and allegories from stone carvings The writing, obviously, during the time of warfare and burning, is gone.
Okay, so you've just got the hieroglyphics or whatever, symbols.
Carvings and things like that.
Okay,
That are thousands of years old, though.
really.
And the fascination in it is look at Da Vinci Code. That was like an advertisement, but not all correct. Yeah, from what I gather. Yeah, Da Vinci Code, the movie, Dan Brown. Oh, watch it.
Too complicated for me.
But Terra Masonica,
no cartoons. Yeah.
Terra Masonica.
wonderful video explaining the history of Freemasonry and goes around to different lodges around the world.
Is that a modern documentary, right?
Yes,
A
published
modern one?
by the Grand Lodge of Scotland.
Okay. All right. It's all Scottish, right, at the moment?
No.
Scotland.
No, I was interested to see that as well because you have Scottish Constitution because that's where it originated, and then you got English Constitution, French Constitution.
When you mean Constitution, you mean a lodge Constitution?
Well, basically, like a Constitution of the United States.
Yeah, you're not meaning the country
It's
Constitution.
how, you know what your operational mandate, whatever it is.
Mandate.
Yeah, well, we'll call it mandate then. It was
I don't think that's
operational
right,
mandate.
Yeah, I get it. All right, let's move on because I told you this history one. So yeah, let's get back up into Middle Ages now. Are we? Where are we?
The 1100, 12th century.
Okay.
This is what most people get confused. The original Freemasons, because the Grand Lodge was started just over 300 years ago. The British Grand Lodge.
Scottish?
English was the first Grand Lodge in the world.
All right, okay.
To start. This is where the confusion comes. Is it 300 years old or is it older?
All right. So that was a new breakaway. Is it right to call them lodges or
Lodges.
Masonry as a thing? So the Grand Lodge was that a breakaway group?
No. The Grand
We'll
Lodge.
call it a different name.
Previously, each lodge operated independently.
Oh.
With the Grand Lodge, it unifies the body.
Right, okay.
Okay, makes sense. Okay.
So the English organised it. Is that what you're saying?
It was the first
Don't
to
feel
organise
too
the
bad,
Grand Lodge.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Bust my bubble.
Yeah, I know. So
Yeah,
right.
but the oldest is still in Scotland. With the proof.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So where are we now?
300.
Timeline. 300. Okay, go on.
300 years ago, and then history of Freemasonry in Thailand is just over 100 years now. Where was
That long?
Yes. Lord St. John was consecrated 1911.
By a Thai or a foreigner coming here and spreading the word and telling everybody what it was about? Is that how it formed? That's how I imagine it got formed. Someone coming here as a foreigner.
It would be a foreign. Someone said we shouldn't be saying Falang.
Yeah,
there we go. You got it. Yeah.
There you go.
So I think a foreigner must have brought that across here.
Must have been a master mason to come and start it here first.
Really?
Yes. That is why we don't have any female lodges in Thailand, because the men mason can't act on their behalf.
All right. I mean, that was a question later on, but we might as well address it now while we're talking about females. Ratio male to female worldwide?
Worldwide, in America, there are Shriners that are female. In England, there are Grand Lodges that are solely just female lodges.
But would you say there's more males in Masonry than females?
Females, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But they're separate. They're separate bodies. Meaning, men don't join the women meeting unless it's an installation.
Yeah.
How many lodges are in Thailand now?
Right now, off the top of my head, let me count them out. For the Scottish, you've got St. John, Ratanakosin, Lanchang, Paddy Westwind. For the English, there's 3, Chula, Trident, and Light of Siam. For the Irish, there's Moricott, so that's 8 now.
Yeah. Can the English join the Irish and the Scottish?
Yes, of course.
Oh, it didn't sound like that because the English don't know what the
That's
Irish
under the
don't know.
Constitution.
Different constitution doesn't mean
Different
that you
rules.
have to.
Maybe slightly different ceremony as well sometimes. Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to be Scottish. It doesn't to join a
Okay.
Scottish lodge.
Clear that up.
It could
okay.
be.
Yeah, it didn't sound
Thai,
that way.
it could
It
be-
didn't sound that way in the beginning. Okay, that's one cleared up. Yeah, all right. Okay, move on.
Let's get back to.
I told you I was going to ask dumb questions.
There's
Yeah,
2
8.
French. There's two French lodges.
10.
2 different Grand Lodge. There's 1 Dutch. 11. And there is a Prince Hall. Prince Hall dives into the history of Freemasonry in America.
George Washington and all that? No, it goes back
Prince
before
Hall
that, doesn't it?
Masonry originated from the time where the slaves were being freed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right.
And they wanted to join the craft, so a separate body was created by Prince Hall.
Right. Okay. So just now within Thailand, well, in general, English language is probably the thing that would probably stop Thais coming in. So now, Ratanakosin was set up. Here 15 years ago, you were saying earlier, yeah. And why did that happen? Was it to attract more Thai, or to share knowledge? What was the purpose? Yeah.
It was spearheaded by Dr. Grisadar Baron Wong, the former governor of Bangkok. He used to be a member of Shane de Rodasser, member of Lodge St. John, a member of Rotary, and I'm sure many other societies as well. What he saw in Masonry that differs from Rotary or...
Well, that was a question. Good for you.
Or any other society at that time was there was no Thai speaking. There was no Thai version. So if you wanted to join Freemasonry, you had to speak English.
Well
enough to understand everything. We have been working very hard at Lodge Ratanakosin through helps of many senior members to get the workings all done in Thai in a way that people feel welcomed when they come in to meet us in harmony.
Well, I get it. It's, yeah, there's a sort of like, I was always going to say like a hippie feel about it, but I mean that in a not a disrespectful way. I like that. Share the love, share we're all equal in the eyes of God or whatever. So I get that. I like that.
Well, that's a very good point.
To sign up here
It's a very good point. It comes on to the point about the religion. Basically, within Masonry, you must is it swear an oath or something to that effect on a book. And it has to be religion. You have to. It has to be a religion or something.
A religious book.
How do they describe that? Yeah? So when you're initiated, because you have your initiate, and then you have your fellow craft, etc. These different ranks, there's three different levels. Yeah? So when they go through their ceremony and they're committed, and they have to swear an oath on the supreme being, that's what they say. Yeah.
Well,
like
because Freemasonry is based on morality, to have a belief, a core value or a set of beliefs, doesn't matter which religion, doesn't matter what your belief is, but to have that principle, it's a good base to start off with.
Okay.
So if they're an atheist, they couldn't join.
Would they want to join?
Well, because it's not a religious organisation, so why wouldn't they? Yeah. Now, what I understand is as long as you believe in a supreme being is whatever you see it as being.
I get it.
So it doesn't need to be God, Allah, or anything else. It could be Mother Nature.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah, I get that, and I'm beginning to like it very much. This is now, I think, are you finished with that? I'm going to go into the ritual side, because this is where I think now, in my estimation, it takes a dive.
Okay.
So far, we're good. We're like, everyone love each other, we're brothers, and I get all that. Love it. Now, let's say if somebody wanted to join, right? Say I wanted to join, all right? What would I have to do to join, and what are the ceremonies that I go through by joining?
The procedures.
The procedure, yeah. But first of all, what do I do? Sign up, or do I have to go through a 3-month initiation course, or how does it work? If I wanted to become a Mason, how would I do that?
The quickest way would be if you had a friend that could vet you that is a Mason, that would put his name on your name.
That's how a lot of them work, like the Rotary works like that as well.
Recently,
Golf clubs do as well.
Yeah, everybody. There's a name for it, I've forgotten what it is, but move on, yeah. Go on.
in recent times, because we don't want to exclude too many people who wants to join.
Yeah, right.
So in recent times, we've started off, Lodge St. John started this actually, the social events. The social events is a wonderful place to meet people who are interested or people who have queries and want to ask an actual Freemason.
It's like this. So this is like a social.
Without beer.
Yeah, without beer. Yeah.
And we get to know people, but the correct procedure is you need two brethren, two people, two members
Yeah.
who are master mason to vet you,
The top guy.
basically, to vet you.
How do they vet you? Interview?
They get to know you first
Oh, all right.
by
How do they?
the social.
So they're vouching.
Social.
They're vouching for the person. I take it. Yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah. How long does that getting to know you?
Oh, it could be a year, could be 2 years.
So
I've known some guys taking 7 years.
before you get the green light.
It depends on, and some don't even get a vetting.
Some get a no straight because.
If you're coming to the craft looking for a way to find funding for a business,
Personal gain.
yes,
There we go. Now that's what I've got against some of the Rotaries that go on. I'm not.
But that's what Rotary's all about. Anyway.
Yeah. Move on. So, all right. So carry on. So I could be vetted for 3 months, not 3 months. I'm not that. A year and a half by going to the socials, meeting people, or
going to the socials, getting to know
Just
the
the
brethren.
socials?
No, having we try to meet up with them afterwards. We try to get to know the person.
And how do you do that? Just by conversation?
Invite them to the house.
Yeah, and just no drilling going on. Questions like, "Who was your father? What did he do? And how did any of that sort of thing going on?"
That does come up, but it doesn't. That's not the main reason.
Okay.
We want to know if you're telling the truth about yourself,
I
or
get it. To fit in with that morality.
Yeah,
thing.
I
just
think
to
it's
learn
more do with
about the
harmony,
character of the man, the character of the person. What is he all about? That's why it takes time.
It's quite thorough, right? Due
Yes,
diligence goes on in there. So, okay, then. So, a year and a half of going around your house for dinner, going to the socials, a few telephone calls.
Coming
then
up-
you go, I think he's okay, right? So you go, yeah, he's all right. So then what happens?
And then you go through a procedure where you get an interview. I can't tell you what happens in the interview.
It's a secret.
It's private.
Okay.
I suppose it's like a job interview, yeah, and they get the particular question.
We've got to keep the surprise.
But also, what they also do is they will circulate to the members, and for them to if there's any
vote.
objection, because of course if somebody's got some problem with a person,
Yeah, like in a
obviously-
wedding, anyone objects, these two shouldn't be, please stand, you know. Yeah, okay, so all right, so it's like a formal interview then, after you've gone through that other process.
Yeah.
So, all right, then everything's hunky-dory, everything's okay.
No, not yet.
Oh.
You do the formal interview first. If you pass and everyone's okay, then there'll be a set date for your initiation.
Okay, can we hear about that? So what is the initiation?
Well, I can't
What
tell
can
you.
you tell us about
I can't tell you what happens in the room because we still need to keep the
It's a
suspense up.
surprise.
But the initiation.
You can really see all on the internet.
Yeah, well, I like to hear. Yeah, okay, go on. No, yeah, but the reason why Kim is the way it operates. You know, YouTube. You can get anything on
But I
YouTube.
think the other
but
question
I
I'm
wanna see
interested
what-
in is, why have a ceremony at all? I mean, okay, so you did this committee meeting
Yep.
with a guy, and you interview his first person who's putting forward the second person to make sure they're all clear and everything, and then it's circulated to the lodge in
lodge.
case there's anything, because otherwise no point circulating somebody who's not being accepted.
Anybody have any reasons why this guy shouldn't join
So,
us?
and it isn't just saying, well, I just don't like the guy. There has to be something valid.
Yeah, I get it.
And then they would have to wait. And you have to remember they've only got they meet monthly. Yeah. How many times a month?
That's right. Lots of John's is 10. They have a break for Christmas and one for installation,
Right.
where the new master comes.
So that means you get 10 meetings to take everybody through. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's spaces. So when they say waiting for it, they're going to be moved along. There's other people already.
Well, yeah. You don't do one by one. You may have 5 or 6 people in one go. Or,
prefer one by one
yeah, but
because that's more intimate.
And then you've got other people getting raised to different degrees.
Oh,
so
That's more personal, you know. When you
no,
do
I get that as well.
one-on-one.
I like that. I just can't believe the due diligence in this. I mean, obviously, it's because you don't want anybody in there that shouldn't
And
be.
maybe
in
that's
there.
why it's lasted so long.
Well, absolutely. So all right then. So you can't tell us about how you're initiated, but then you're initiated. Okay.
But
so
why? Well, my question, why do you have to have a ceremony at all? Everyone said, you're a lovely guy, yeah, you fit in, you're not going to cause any problems. Why does he have to go through
well,
a
it's like
ceremony?
getting a driving license from
Well,
the MD.
for some, going through this ceremony for the third degree, it's a life-changing one.
Yeah. I get it. It's a pat on the back as well, like you've done it, it's a reward, and now you are part of something.
So it's a bit like when it's your birthday, sing them happy birthday, and it feels
Absolutely.
good.
Pretty much, and
That's right.
everyone celebrates your passing, raising, and initiation.
Yeah, so then you're
You
part
feel
of
part of the belonging, you feel...
and you're part of the group.
And the other way around is the effort a lodge takes to accept a member. You got to realize that where some people are business owners, some have jobs, some have family commitments, others.
Oh yeah, it's not full time. They're not full time lodge members. They've all
we don't get paid.
They've all got. Well, this is another. What about funding for the lodges? How does that work?
Membership fees.
Oh, there is membership fees.
There is
How
membership.
Much is that?
Depending on which lodge. Our lodge at the moment is 14,000.
Ratanakosin.
14,000 a year.
Yes.
Okay.
But that includes dinners, that includes your installation fees. So every time you turn up to a stated meeting, all your dinner is covered.
Cool.
That's not bad, yeah?
Is that with wine?
Yes, that's with wine. With wine.
I'd get that back on the first day.
Yeah, they give you a half bottle.
Now I'm getting it there. I'm getting it now. Where are we? So, all right, that's how you're funded. So then I'm a member on the lowest rung, for want of a better word. But then there's people like yourselves saying, "Look, we got this dinner coming up, Andy. Can you help? Can you? Do you know a band? You know?" And it's like more on a community level, right?
Yes.
So you go off and get a band, and and then you do all these works for a long, for whatever. Probably a long time knowing you guys, and then you may get promotion. Promotion probably a wrong word, but you maybe go to a
Get raised to the second degree.
Second
and then
degree.
pass to
Okay.
the third degree.
All right.
Can the people in the second degree watch what's happening in the third degree?
No.
Oh, a secret.
So they're asked to leave the room.
Exactly. So private.
Wait a minute. I actually like this because it's like a privilege of your learning. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like going to
That's
you
like
go to
you've
school.
earned
You
it.
go from fourth year to fifth year. I mean, if you're a dumbass, you don't get
pass
to
the
fifth
grade.
year, yeah. So you're not going to go up. Yeah?
Exactly.
So it's just like school.
Yes, I mean, there's so many questions that come to my mind with this, but I'm not going to go down that way now because A, we haven't got enough time, and B, it's probably not over important. Another question: what could get you thrown out of the lodge? Like, is there a word like dismembership or something? Like you're a member, and then this guy can't be a member anymore. Do you just say that's it, bye bye, or because he knows everything, right? Does that ever happen, or is your due diligence that good? It never
And
happens.
how powerful is that oath you made?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And is your due diligence that good that never occurs? That you've got suddenly a bad guy has come through the ranks and he's either turned, or how do you deal with that? Wow,
That's a wonderful question. Embezzling funds, you'll get kicked out of that. Messing with the charity, all these money for when we're collecting money for charity, or we're collecting money for lodge, for the bar, or anything like that. If there's anything goes missing, that's already a red flag.
What happens if you've killed somebody?
well, that's immoral for a start.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're out.
You're charged with mass
Murder.
yeah, or you say embezzlement. But basically, you're charged outside the lodge. I mean, if somebody's done that.
For murder, yes, you would be.
But if you've done something else and you've got, let's say, a simple thing, you have a criminal record, would you be asked to leave?
No.
But to these people that do these crimes like embezzlement and whatever, they get what in the Catholic religion would say excommunicated.
Yes.
That's what you're out. Now, what gets me, and you said about the oath, is that these people know everything about how you operate. Are they the ones that get the YouTube channels up and how we know
That's probably
everything?
where all the conspiracy theories come
Okay.
from. Guys that get kicked out aren't happy.
I wouldn't say they're really.
No, it's not only that, because just like within any religion, that would mean that not only do the people that you know within that lodge know about you getting kicked out, but it is circulated worldwide that you've been kicked out. So yes, there's that threat. Yeah. But I think if somebody, can somebody leave the lodge? Maybe they say, I don't want to be part of this anymore. And they leave.
Of course.
We've got to move on because we're running out of time here. A couple of more dumb questions, and also you brought something props along that you want to show us. Can you tell us about that?
This is a regalia for the 3rd degree, a Master Mason's regalia.
Which camera?
From Lodge Ratanakosin. Yes.
So what does this mean? Right, it's white. Why is it white in different colours? There must be something. It's all because the lodge is all about symbolism and things like that.
That's actually not a secret. Why is it white? It's part of the ritual. It's to do with purity.
Lamb skin or something like that originally.
Getting there. It's to do with
Not lamb slaughtering or anything like that.
when you join as a Master Mason, your apron is white,
Yes.
as in you've just started a new chapter.
Okay,
And you're
apron is
pure.
the.
You're a virgin.
Yeah, basically. And then
With little
you
blue
start
dots.
getting for your
You
second
get more
degree.
experience, yeah.
For your second
Is that
degree.
why you get the wee balls and the chains?
For the second degree, these two are added, symbolizing that you pass to your second.
Okay.
For the 3rd degree, then you get the full.
And what is that
Full
used for?
regalia.
What is that? What is that? Is that an apron?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was a bag. Oh, okay.
Oh, there is a bag inside.
Oh, okay.
for-
So that fits like an apron. I mean, sorry.
on your waist.
Oh, just your waist, not the.
yes.
Oh, okay. All right. And that is the only costume. Don't like the word, but for want of a better word, that's the only thing you wear. And you would wear those at special ceremonies, not all the time, right? You wouldn't wear that at a social, would you?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Only the closed.
When you attend the meeting, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Right.
So everybody has to buy one, or they're available at the lodge?
They're available for
That's a Scottish
1st degree.
question. Scottish
There's always
Constitution,
eBay.
It's available for the 1st degree and 2nd degree, but when it comes to your 3rd, you have to buy it
Right.
because that's yours. You hold on to that.
I see you've got wearing lots of some regalia here as well. And I was discussing with you the other night, yeah, because I attended your social, and you said there seems to be an adoption of some of the design of masonry in jewellery,
Yes, I've seen.
and it's being used in Thailand. Yeah.
I've seen
Whether
many
they
jewelry
understand what it
stores
is,
with
yeah.
Masonic symbols.
Really?
Yes, the square.
It sounds very Thai, doesn't it?
Very similar things. Around the train markets, I've seen that where there are rings. Yes,
I
of
don't
course, of course.
know. I don't know. See, I haven't been brought from a Catholic. What you can touch and what you can't touch.
Oh, you're excommunicated now. You
Yeah,
touched
that's-
that.
yeah.
But that's another thing I was interested
that's
in
a
when it
smart
was social.
bit of-
You
that's
had
nice.
Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, Hindu, Muslim, everybody there. Now, being from Scotland, I have to justify this, yeah, because it's very in Glasgow. It's very much Catholic, Protestant, Rangers, Celtic, yeah. And I think a lot of people got mixed up between Grand Lodge and Orange Lodge.
Yeah, I got it down here on my notes. That's mentioned here.
So
yeah. The Grand
I'm
Orange
sort of moving
Order.
through some of these things pretty quick. So
Yeah.
there was that sort of question, and when my father told me about it and explained about it, I was like, no way, I am not ever going to get involved in this. But when I get invited to go into socials and things like that, it's the principle was it's not for any particular sector, but the argument also was there was police lodges, there was different types of lodges, and it became how the question was how do members get benefit? Yeah,
Yeah.
And are they there to
What
help
do they have to
themselves?
gain? Yeah, that's
so
a
I'm
big
leading on to
question.
that.
Well,
So I'll just finish the last part to do with Scotland. But in Glasgow, yes, there was a sort of a Catholic and a Protestant side to it. If you said, did you know any Catholic who actually joined the lodge in Glasgow? People say no, it doesn't happen. But that is totally wrong, and the principles of it is across, and that's why I'm fascinated by. That's why I read about it. That's why I'm asking all these questions.
So yeah, you were saying, sorry.
Well, to become a member, it takes a lot of commitment, and you have
Yeah.
to invest a lot of your time into it.
Yeah.
But that's also good for the person that is joining because he's sussing himself out at the same time. Is this for me?
Yeah.
You know, he could be halfway through and go, "Sod, you know, this is I just can't commit the time. I can't do that. I'm not fully committed." So it's
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah,
I know
A
few
lot of
people that
trouble.
did that, actually.
yeah, I can see that.
It costs you money to join. You know, it's not something that you go in and gain.
It's an investment, right?
But
But well,
I don't look at it as an
well,
investment. It's more of
in your life, it's an investment
yes.
for your life. That's what because you know I don't want to upset any Rotary people because they do great charity work, as do of course you guys as well. I always was wondering what people's incentive was for joining, and that was one of the reasons why I was skeptic. Is are they going to, you know, like I've got a factory that makes this, and you got that? Let's get together, and it's like a business thing as well.
That's frowned upon.
Is it?
Yes.
Because the Rotary is, you know, it's natural in Rotary. You're sitting next to a person, and you go, "What do you do? And what do you do?" And then there's a synergy, and you'll do something.
Right.
But people sometimes join because of that, and that's
Well, right. I think there's knowing people from both. Yeah. Within Rotary is a group of business people who do charitable activities. Okay. Masonry is not a charitable organisation, but they do charity. So it's not within their constitution to be a charitable
so. What is the
organisation.
purpose then? The main purpose
It's
of
basically this
Freemasonry?
father son, basically teaching, making yourself better. Yeah.
Okay.
As a better, but there's an awful lot of charity that is done, but
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
the under the constitution.
And please don't think I was having to go to Rotary clubs. They do a lot of fantastic
So
work.
Rotary does orientate around people because I think part of their charter, and I'm not part of Rotary at all, but part of the charter is that they were saying that there's certain people with certain skills. You couldn't have originally said you couldn't have two lawyers in there, yeah, this kind of thing, yeah, and it was business orientated, a social club for business orientation to do charity, where Masonry is different in that
All
level.
right.
Yeah.
So are we finishing on the true and falses, or you got because we're running?
No, but I
right
want to go
out
back
of
to
time?
this benefit thing because this is something that really pisses people off.
Yeah.
They say that it's all about helping each other, and I see this as contentious. And the way I've been explained is, like I said before, you're in a pub. You may do business with friends, but there's nothing that says you have to do business with another Mason. But my question is, if you're in a pub and you've got a plumber, there's two plumbers. There's a plumber over there,
And one's a
who you
Mason.
know, who's a Mason, and you are, and there's another one over there. Which would you choose? The guy you know and trust, or the guy you don't know at all?
You being a Scotsman, you go
So
for the
that's it.
cheapest.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a good point. But there's another thing that was very interesting.
We've known each other a long time.
And I think this is, to me, this is probably part of, some people would put them off, yeah? Is that if two Masons have a disagreement, a serious disagreement, neither of them can walk into the body of the lodge until they've sorted the differences out. Or one or other leaves.
So it's all about harmony, isn't it?
It's all about
and
harmony.
I do
yeah.
like that side of
and
it.
that is, I think that's important. So now, when you say benefits to lodge members, to Masons, on that principle, you're going to lose your whole network of friends, yeah, on having a disagreement. So what will people tend to do? Don't do business with other Masons.
So that
really qualifies
that
it.
one
It
out.
balances
Yeah,
that out.
I get it.
And I think that's where I've got. I'm very interested in reading the history. I think the history is just fascinating. Yeah, Knights Templar and how that got involved and things like that. Yeah.
and the ritualistic side of things you probably like. Well, maybe you didn't. I'm sure.
Well, I think the ritual gives structure and gives honour to a person.
Don't
If you're
get a
going
sword,
through
do
it.
you?
When
there a
I
sword
watched
in-
it on
right.
video, they had all the
Can't talk about it.
different things. Yeah.
There is a sword for Lodge Ratanakosin. We actually got a Thai sword.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because it's the first Thai-speaking lodge, so
And
it's
that's
very
used
fitting.
in ceremonies and meetings, or as a.
That's
on
for
display or-
the outer guard who keeps out eavesdroppers.
Oh, outside the door.
Yes.
So you do get that knocking on the door thing, like the opening of Parliament. You can't talk about that.
Well, there's a good example. Parliament. Why
They
do
have the same,
it
they,
feels like, it must be a
what's
ritual.
terrible.
So the Parliament does it every day with cameras on.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a ritual. It's to give formality. It's to give
which also
respect,
dates back
to the institution, not the person necessarily. Yeah, that's why I like it.
You're done.
I love this.
I know you can, but we've done 40 minutes already. So.
All right, okay, that's all quality stuff.
Okay, let's get on the true and false. And these are probably going to cover what we've already talked about, but it's like a nice wrap up. Are you for that? Okay, true or false? When meeting, Masons do not discuss religion or politics. True or false?
True.
True.
But there is a separate order in France which broke away from the Grand Lodge of France that do discuss politics. Is because there are different views on that particular topic. But Masonry in Thailand, yes, we don't discuss politics or religion.
In the body of the lodge.
Yes.
That's the same rule.
Outside of lodge,
Yeah.
Do what you want.
you're free man. You can do whatever you want.
It's the same
There's
rule.
no gag order.
It's the same rule as live radio. That's what we used to tell the DJs. Don't religion and politics. Don't do it. All right. Freemasonry is not a religion. True or false?
True.
The Catholic Church condemns Freemasonry. True or false?
In the past, yes, there was a pope that was against the order of Freemasonry, but now they've gone back to okay again.
Okay. Most of the founding fathers were not Freemasons. True or false? Maybe you don't
Founding
know
fathers
this
of
one.
what?
Of where?
Well, I don't know. Do they mean America? No, I don't know.
You wrote it down.
Well, no,
That's your question.
I just copy and pasted it.
Quality research.
Oh, absolutely. I'm number one at that. All right, move on from that one. There are no secret Masonic symbols on the US dollar bill. True or false? And I thought that might get you.
Ooh, that is a tough
There
one.
is.
There is, yeah.
A Masonic symbol.
Yes.
Oh, I never knew. God, bloody, don't look at me going, yes, you fool.
No,
I don't know.
You haven't watched the Dan Brown stuff.
I don't have a US dollar bill either. Right, and the last one. Now, it says here, password. The secret Masonic password originated as a job tool. Is that the handshake they mean?
The secret password.
Is there a secret password?
Yes, there is. I can't tell you what it is, though.
No, of course you're not. But or where it originated from, you can't tell us.
No.
So you can't tell us if that's... Well, it's true then.
Oh, yes, yes, there is a secret password.
Yeah, we'll go from there. And it probably originated as a job tool. Probably.
You have to
We
join
don't
to
want
find
to get
out.
into trouble. And my last question is, did you have to ask anybody to appear on this podcast? Any of your brothers?
Get permission. Yeah.
Get permission?
Yes.
You did. From the master? And he said yes, I hope. Oh, really?
No. We need to get permission to do public interviews, yes.
Okay, fine. Any final?
So did they give you vetting and things like that, and have to turn around and say this is what you can say, what you can't say? But you're a past master, so you know.
Exactly. So the things I can't say is secret passwords,
Yeah, you've been
or
very
private
good.
passwords, or some of the things in the ceremony.
You've gone around it very, very, very well. Very politely, very subtly, and you made your point. So, Jompon Quartermain, I knew your dad, and you've been here for a long, long time. We wish you all the best. I'm definitely no more. And I love that harmony and that hippie side of things. I thought it was really great. You know, it's what I
harmony
love.
with harmony of the guys in a suit and a bow tie, or with a tux on, because I attend the meetings with a tux. Yeah.
Well, with the politics right now, so divisive, right? With people being so divided up, society being so divided up, and so angered by all the different viewpoints, right? Right now, even in America, even in Thailand recently. I've never seen a body of men, because we don't have females in the lodges here, I've never seen a body of men from such a different points of views, different political points of views, different religious points of views. They could sit down, be friendly, have dinner.
Dialogue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quick just on that, yeah, just to wind up, because this is my habit, yeah. Is Freemasonry a threat to political establishments? Because during the Second World War, I'm not sure about first, Masons were one set of group which were taken to the gas chambers and killed.
Yes, in Germany.
Right? And the only way they could identify themselves was through a little flower, by wearing a flower. Yeah. So it was all very, very secretive. Yeah. But because even Masonry is related back to the setting up the American Constitution, and I think 15 of them, certainly the vast, vast majority of the people were Freemasons.
Yes.
And because they had a constitution of their own through Freemasonry, and they obviously replicated that in some way to create the American Constitution, that would lead people to think that Freemasonry could influence governments and through the people that join Freemasonry. Do you see that as a threat, or do you think this is just a fable, or do you think this should be stopped within your Grand Lodge?
I see it as Freemasonry as a body do not involve ourselves in politics whatsoever. As individuals, you're a free man. You're allowed to get involved in politics. You're allowed to do whatever you like, so long as you're not going out hurting anybody, killing anybody, doing anything that's
illegal or
pretty much
or immoral. Yeah.
Immoral.
So basically, does it see as a threat to political establishment, like Hitler saw? Yeah.
Well, what we found is that people assume that, say, if one person, if a member is belonging to a political party or is strong viewed on politics, that all members have the same political views.
So tied with the same brush.
Yeah, but that's not the case. You could have brothers outside of lodge discussing different political points of views and be in disagreement.
You could have a political leader, as long as he comes through those doors of the lodge.
Well, actually, you did. You had someone very high up with the Thai Society, Bunag.
Yeah.
I don't quite see the question.
No, my question is, do you see Freemasonry as a threat? Because it's got a structure, it's got it's got very influential people sometimes joining and not influential in other. Do they see it as a threat?
Well, with their vetting process, they would have sussed that out, I reckon.
Yeah, but do governments see that as a threat from outside in? That was my question. Yeah.
Well,
and the answer is no. Yeah.
I don't view it as a threat because our members have many different points of views.
Yeah.
You have people who have completely polar opposite political views.
Yeah.
How would it be a threat if they completely think differently for
Right, so it's not part
politics.
of Masonry to get involved in that.
No.
So that's the answer. Okay. That was
All right.
answer.
Thank you very much, Kim. Thank you, Andrew, as normal. And thank you for watching. I hope you know a little bit more about Freemasonry than you did before the video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Bangkok Chitchat.
See you later.